Here is part 4. So, still talking about how to learn almost anything in 48 hours. So, this is the smashing scope method, etc. And they say, the guy is trying to sell his own books, the Yellow Elephant, another memory type, memory model, and based on 4 parts, so abstract information, ideas, concepts without physical forms, that doesn't make sense to us or likely to be abstract. This includes languages, quantum physics, numbers, stuff like that. Image, to make things more memorable, we need to convert the abstract into an image. We may or may not be able to understand what this abstract thing means, but by making it an image, we prepare our mind to understand how to use it at a step 3, association. Okay, I'm summarizing here. To complete the memorization process, we need a story connecting the elements through associations. So there is this kind of a pattern, which is created by, the shape, the form, the sound, whatever, and all to make a story that has to make sense, but you can exaggerate the information. Okay, a strong association is made when what you're memorizing is physically connected. Earlier I used the example of pen and paper, and how when the pen writes on paper, and better yet shreds paper by pressing too firmly, whatever. Communication, how do you then make this memorable for others? Step 1, 2, 3 occurs in our own heads, but communicating this to others may require some adapting and adjusting. Okay, you want to learn French, you want to learn English. It's not just a matter of repeating and repeating and repeating until you get the stuff by heart. No. That means you've got to, you take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 lessons per week. Okay, that's a lot of work. So the thing is, you want to speed up the process. Okay, you've got to come up with your own stuff. And imagine, there was a book, I don't know if it's still open. It's called All Clear. I think it's here somewhere. All Clear. So it's a book, it emphasizes the listening part, the speaking part, and that means, this one. So the first lesson is all about, you have to learn some basic, simple expressions. Let me see if I can reach this first part. Okay, so here, they make an association like, who are you? What's your name, last first name, what name do you want everyone to call you in class? So you start remembering some stuff, it's very emotional. And where are you from? So they're all talking about you. Oh my God, they're talking about me. So that's cool. Not everyone can like that. Some people are like, well, leave me alone, I don't want to talk about myself. Okay. Well, if you make the decision of taking courses, you've got at some point talk about yourself. Okay. It's not being narcissistic, it's just being practical. And it's like, okay, well, I need to know who you are and what's your background, why you want to learn French, or why you want to learn English, why you want to learn that. What is your problem? Let's problem solve. Okay, there is another aspect to solving a problem is, how do you learn? Do you have time? Can you study on your own? Do you have time to study? Studying, what does that mean to study? It's like, you're not gonna sit at your desk for 3 hours memorizing stuff. You're not gonna memorize. Okay, it's just to make an effort. It's like, okay, my first class was, I talked about myself. Okay, where I am from, I'm understanding this question now. Okay, what language or languages do you speak at home? Do you work? Basic stuff. After they come up with, the first lesson is, what's wrong? Where are we using this stuff? We have a situation. We have images. Okay. Oh, I can think about the time I was sick. I had a stomachache. How do you say my stomach is painful? I have a stomachache. So you can be like, okay, well, what's wrong? What is your problem? Okay, so this is the first example we can come up with. What's wrong? We imagine a situation. It's not a mental map. We imagine a story, real or not. I went to the hospital that day. I was supposed to work and I couldn't work. I did that. Okay. Let's say, for instance, I have to, I have to work. I have to make money. It's important because it pays the bills, it pays the school, it pays a lot of stuff, the food on the table. And so I couldn't work that day. So I had to stop every day, everything I was supposed to do. Okay. So that is your personal data, your personal information, and your personal history. So you can take that from this pool and gather some information in order to make your own stories, and that can stick to your memory. That's a secret. Okay. So coming back to iBooks. Oh, that was automatic. So practicing. It's nice. It's not all in your head. You need also to practice to talk to people. If you don't have this opportunity, well, try to go to French communities, or try to listen to music, to watch movies, to listen to French songs or English songs, whatever. This is a great way to learn the language. Okay. You can also go on vacation to a French-speaking country, an English-speaking country, whatever. Okay. The practice is important. If you have to learn math, what's a different story? You need to practice as well, And the best way is to practice with, let's say, engineering, or to practice with, concrete stuff. You've got to bring your abstract data that you've learned and memorized into the real world. That's also the second step. And many people are scared of that. When you learn French, for instance, you can hide behind your books and be like, well, I know how to do the exercises. But that's not the goal. The goal is for you to be able to speak to a native speaker. So, and many people break down. They escape, they flee, they get anxious, and like, why are you getting anxious? Because I'm afraid of making a mistake. And a mistake is part of the deal. You've got to make mistakes in order to memorize as well. It's part of the memorization process. Without the mistakes, you're not gonna be able to memorize and go forward. Okay, so you speak. How it works, remembering names, for instance. That's my problem. I have a big problem on this level. Names are forgotten because they are abstract in nature, but you need to associate the names with something that can help you to remember. The person, the work. I need this person. I remember, whatever. So what they say, there is no image for our brains to connect and store. So the trick to remembering names is to create the image and make an association. If you're trying to remember the name Clara or Claire, for example, you could picture Claire being eaten by a bear. Bear will trigger the name Claire because of their shared rhyming properties. You may also picture Claire looking like a bear, or perhaps Claire has lots of hair sprouting from her nose, or claw-like hands. Make this image as graphic as you can. You may even imagine Claire being chased by a bear, but because there is no physical connection or contact between Claire and the bear, it weakens the memorization. So even though there may be an emotional connection to the image, such as Claire's fear or the bear physical connection with your image will help you remember better. Okay? When listening is a big part of the memorization problem, issue as well. People don't listen. They don't pay attention, or they listen fractions of seconds, and after they are like, well, if I remember well, she said that and that, and after it's like the teacher's issue. It's like, no, it's you've got to focus, and the teacher will repeat again. And what do you remember? Do you remember this expression? Oh no, I don't remember. It's like, you have to listen. You pay attention. It doesn't require a lot of efforts. It doesn't require, that you're listening like carefully and you have a headache at the end of the session. No, it's just like relax, absorb the information, relax, and just listen. That's it. It doesn't require a lot of work. Words are extremely powerful and can have deeper emotional connections, but only if they are visualized. You can listen to instructions, presentations, or even a friend chatting to you, but if you don't convert what they are saying into images, you may miss the importance of the message and increase your likelihood of forgetting. Okay, so you have to imagine the story they're telling you. Oh, I see what you mean. You see, that's an expression that can also help you. I see what you mean. When listening to anything, visualize the images using Smashing Scope principles to make better stories, and you'll remember much more than before. When trying to learn anything new, when you first come across information, it needs to be organized and arranged in a way for your brain to make sense. Simplification. You've got to simplify stuff. Okay? Take the example of somebody who's going to tell you a story and they forget and they get distracted, and it's like, and after they give you personal information, it's like that reminds me of the time when it's like, stick to the story. I want to understand the full story. Simplify, get the data clear, simple, organized. That's a great way to remember things and to help your audience to understand clearly and remember clearly. Okay, simplicity. So that's why they say organize your ideas and arrange in a way for your brain to make sense of it and create images. Okay, techniques such as mind maps and drawings help you visualize and order information. Once you have visual order, you can make connecting stories. Key points: imagination is the key to making anything more memorable. Build on foundation memory principles with Smashing Scope, and bring your story to life. You can practice on anything you can visualize. Your yellow elephant memory model will help you. I'm laughing because it's really selling this book here. When you are not sure how to remember something, break it down by looking at how you can create memorable mental images and link the story. Okay, that is, I think, the first chapter. No, the second chapter. I'm already there. Wow. You see, I didn't pay attention. Chapter 3. If you're, another thing, I'm just thinking about that. If you're stressed, if you have, you're worried about something, that happens to me. Yesterday, landlord is coming, she wants to increase the rent. And I got completely, shattered, disconnected from my own reality. I'm thinking, my brain is like, okay, survival mode. School is more expensive, the rent is more expensive, I'm not making more money, and so I have to come up with solutions. So your brain is just like, screw the rest, I need to come up with some solutions because I need to survive here. Okay, so that can create problems. That happens. Okay, that can, you can just be like, I need to really prioritize stuff, and it's normal, it's natural. So what's going on is that's definitely what's going to happen is you don't pay attention. You don't pay attention. You focus on your problem, you discuss about it, you talk about it, but you're not going to talk about another thing. So you can just be like, well, I forgot about my email. I forgot about writing stuff. I forgot to do that. I forgot that because I was prioritizing. So many teachers don't understand how memory works, and they are not, they're not really into psychology, except if you teach psychology, you may understand what it is. But when you are in sales and in business, you've got to learn this kind of basic stuff. And memory is fine. When you sell something, you've got to also understand how memory works, because they want to remember you. They want to make sure, they can remember you in a good way. So life is complex, and we're all human beings. We can all have problems and just be like, I forgot about your stuff. Sorry, that happens. Okay. So you're going to be distracted. So if you know they have worries and everything, try to be like, look, I know I have to problem solve this stuff, but I have a course right now. I'm going to try my best to remember. Okay. Just be aware of your environment, your situation, the context, everything, in order for you to remember better. Okay. But we're all humans. Shit happens. Anyway, you have a nice day. This is part 4, and part 5 will come up pretty soon. Take care. Bye-bye.